Hey guys! I just filmed like a update vlog thing, but I'm kind of bored, so I thought I would do another video. I wanted to talk about medication, so this is like a topic video. And like, psych medication for mental illness and mental disorders. I have been on and off of it for the last 6 years, 5 years, 5 years, I think, since I was 16, since I was first diagnosed with depression. So when I first went on it, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was helping, but it really did help. It helped my mood not to be so crazy, but I felt like it numbed me out. And at that point, I was using behavior so much that I pretty much couldn't cry, and I just felt terrible. I was on antidepressants, just antidepressants. I think Zoloft, and Celexa, which didn't work. And it took like 2 years for a doctor and a psychiatrist to find something that I was happy with, that I felt like worked, but I also didn't know that much, so I don't know, it was weird. And my general practitioner was the one that diagnosed me with depression and started me on psych meds, but he did say that, like, I'm not an expert at this, obviously I'm not a psychiatrist, so then he referred me to a psychiatrist. She was a crazy psychiatrist, I don't see her anymore. Anyway, so like after 2 years, yeah, it would have been 2 years later, I went off my meds, cold turkey, did not tell a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist didn't even call me and see why I canceled my appointment. It was kind of weird. And yeah, I convinced my parents to let me do that, and I always had really bad withdrawal symptoms from that particular medication. I would get, whoops, my iPad's almost dead. I would get really like nauseous, and I would have vertigo, which is like a little different than dizziness. It's very strange. It's like your eyes don't match with your head, so it feels like you're still looking there and I hate that feeling. Worst feeling ever. Besides like nausea, I guess, because I hate being dizzy and nauseous. Anyway, so yeah, I went off of that, and then I didn't go back on psych meds for another 1.5 years, I think. I'm trying to keep all the dates straight in my head. So yeah, like November of 2015, I went to college, and I had been seeing a therapist there, and she finally was like, can you talk to the psychiatrist? Because there was a psychiatrist that came into the health center once a week. So I talked to her, and she was like, well, you definitely have depression. And at that point, I was like, my depression's not that bad, but my depression and anxiety go together, and I really hadn't realized that I had anxiety before that. So she put me on Prozac, a very low dose, and then I had Xanax that she prescribed for my anxiety, which I hated that. I'm very sensitive to things that, like anti-anxiety things, they usually just make me tired, they wipe me out, so I hated taking it, and I wouldn't take it when I needed it. So do other things, like when I was in residential, they gave me like Seroquel and Vistral. Those like the lowest dose, just, I'm exhausted. Like, I just get tired easily. Anyway, so I was on that for like, what, a month or two, and then I went to treatment, and the psychiatrist there upped the Prozac, and then I ended up being put on mood stabilizers because I was doing crazy things. I'm very impulsive, and my mind just goes too fast, and I just do stupid things and I don't even think about them. So the mood stabilizers definitely help slow my mood down. Or my like thoughts. So yeah, and then I came home, and recently my psychiatrist, I found a different psychiatrist who I really like, has put me on Boost Bar, which is like anti-anxiety, and it was PRN, but now I actually take it every day to just have it in my system. And that does not tire me out, like, not that I notice. Anyway, so that's kind of my background. I think that medication is wonderful. I mean, obviously everyone is different. Everyone's going to react to medication and therapy and all of that different stuff. differently. But for me, it has really helped me. And then back in the fall, like a couple months ago, I went through some times where I stopped taking it because, so the doctors, at least all the doctors I've had say, you know, like, you're gonna want to not take this or think you don't need it. And I was always like, no, that's stupid. I'm not gonna do that. But I totally did. I've done it multiple times. And the one back in the fall was kind of triggered by the fact that I ran out of one of my medications and I couldn't get it refilled because it had the wrong... I take it 3 times a day and it said that I took it twice a day, like the prescription. So they were like, well, just call your psychiatrist and have her call us and tell us, you know, fix it. And I just procrastinated like for a whole week to even call her. So yeah, that wasn't smart. And then I only had one medication that, you know, I didn't have enough of, but I decided, oh, I'm just not going to take any of it. I could tell. I didn't have really physical, like, withdrawal symptoms, which is nice. Like, I physically didn't feel sick like I used to. But I was thinking crazy things. And I was journaling about it at one point. And I was like, I know this is just the medication. That it's just because I'm off of this. Like, I was thinking, I was almost suicidal. Like, it's just crazy. So anyway, I know that for me, medication works. And I know that I need it. And I know that I should not go off of it, at least at this point. I know that in the fall I need my antidepressants because I get very depressed, and I know that the majority of the time I'm very impulsive and I need mood stabilizers and anti-anxiety medication to keep me, you know, thinking sanely and not going totally crazy. So yeah, that's my opinion on medication, is that it is helpful and it does work. It might take a while to, first of all, find the right psychiatrist and then find the right dose and medications that work for you. I know it's taken me a while because it did take like a year since I first went back on, you know, that other November. It's been more than a year and I'm finally pretty happy with this. My anxiety has been so much better just since I started taking Boost Bar, and I feel pretty good. The other quick thing I wanted to talk about is that another medication that I just started taking, I have started taking the pill, birth control, which I had never been on before. I'm not sexually active, so it was not for that purpose, but I have realized over the last few months that my mood definitely goes with my menstrual cycle. The week before my period, I am so depressed and so sad, and it's so triggering for me to want to, you know, use behaviors. And then I have, you know, my period, which is not overly heavy. It was heavier when I was in high school, but it's still pretty heavy. My mom has terrible periods. Anyway, get that from her. Thanks a lot. But, and then there's like a week or two where I'm feeling pretty good. And that's actually right now. I'm feeling motivated and, you know, have energy and this and that. So anyway, I finally decided that I wanted to try birth control to try to even out those hormones and help regulate my mood and stuff. So, this is the first month of it. I just started. We'll see how it goes. So yeah. That was my spiel about medication, I guess. Yeah, hopefully, I want to make a video about therapists too, because therapy and medication are two big things in recovery, because really, with mental illness, you can't, in my opinion, it's very, very, very hard to just recover from, you know, self-control or self-motivation. I don't, at least for me, it's impossible. I can't do it by myself. I need those professionals. I need support from other people. I need a treatment team. So yeah, I'm going to try to do some videos about that. Yeah, and the other video I made, I'm probably going to post before this because it is a little, like, update on what's going on. Because I'm going to college. Alright, talk to you later.